All right, let's go ahead and get started on this. I have, well, honestly, I've been kind of chomping at the bit to get back into this because there's a bunch of stuff that I want to fix. One of the things that I've been looking at all week long is I've been looking at this arm right here. If I switch over to the sketch layer. And go to my brush. This arm right here. I have an issue with where it is located. I want to lift it up somewhat. I want to get it more crossways. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that arm. I think I'm just going to leave that arm where it is and lift this arm up so it's kind of past that. So she's kind of got her hand over here. And we've got the end of the sleeve there. It comes down here. And then we've got our hand up on our elbow there. That's sort of... I want to get a little bit more detail on these fingers there. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at in terms of how to deal with this. And it's like I said, here's the problem spot. And I've been wanting to work on the lines of the hoodie or dress or whatever you want to call it. And I also want to fix that over here on this as well. I want to fix the bit right here where the tail is. I want to fix the bit right there where the tail is, and I want to fix the tail because this one's big and thick and this one's kind of not so much. So yeah, I want to do something around that and get that taken care of. And I think that will get us somewhere. Now, toward that end, what I have done is I have gone out and I have gotten a bunch of reference for Gura's tail. And you can see here that what we actually have is, well, this is a fan-created 3D model, and you can see that it just sort of has this little divotty bit right there. And then we have the, wait, that's not from a fan-created model. This is a fan-created model, and you can see that it just has the little divot in the side, the way that I've done. This one comes back smoothly, and this one has a little sort of notch in it. Now then over here, we have the actual official 3D model reference, which has the little notch. And you can see that this little notch comes up into the edge there, and then it just comes down, and there's the rest of it. So what I want to do with this is I want to kind of fix the way this is done so that her tail comes out through there, and the same thing over here. We're going to pull this up, put the back part up here, and have the tail coming out. But I want to think a little bit more about where exactly the tail is coming out, which should be like right about here, and how that is translating into the movement of the tail, and what you can see and what the vision is on it. So this needs to be fixed right in there. While I'm at it, I want to fix that pocket. That pocket is bothering me. It is really seriously bothering me that this pocket should really be kind of around the corner there, and we should only see just like the bottom part of the pocket sticking off to the side there. So I really want to move that pocket. And outside of that, what I mostly want to do here is I want to get this to a point that I'm happy enough with it to flat shade it and get the colors on it. so that I can move forward on this. And next week we'll be able to do shading and cleaning stuff up and the actual like more detail on the hair and everything. But I want to go to a colored drawing similar to this. It won't be as good because it's going to be just the early stages and not something that I've worked on for weeks, but it will have all of the details. And a lot of what I was doing over those weeks was getting the details right. So this should go a lot faster. And we're going to see if we can get that taken care of tonight. And yeah. But I do want to talk a little bit about the concept of spaced repetition, because this is something I've been wrestling with over the course of the past week. Let me zoom in here and I'll do some work on the line work while I'm discussing this. So we've got this is the tent pose, so it's the pocket pose. There's our vector line is where we're working. Okay, so anyway. Yeah. So the thing is, that when you're learning how to do something, and I'm very much learning how to do something, you want to repeat the thing that you're learning to do at intervals. You don't want those intervals to be too far apart or you'll forget between learning, but you don't want it to be too close together or you end up with too much stuff. If you pack too much stuff into your head at once to try and learn it, then your brain cannot quite figure out what of all this stuff you just learned is important. So it just kind of paints everything with a broad brush and goes, this is all of roughly equal importance. And it gets treated as a unit instead of like individual skills. And you really kind of want it to be treated like individual skills. I want that to swoop out like so. And then I want this to come down and around like that. Now let's vector erase here. We'll kind of clean that up. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm getting in my practice frequently enough to ramp up my learning, but not so frequently that I'm overwhelming my ooh, we got stuff on the color layer, don't we? Yeah. There's stuff on the color layer that doesn't need to be there. There we are. But obviously, I want to continue improving, and I want to optimize that improvement. And I've done a lot of study on the question of how people learn and how to make that learning work better. Okay, here's a rough question. How high up do I want to go on that? Because, man. I can go up awfully high, but do I want to? I think I want to add the modesty shorts here. There we go. That'll be the thing. Yeah. So we'll have the modesty shorts beginning right here. Okay. As I was saying, I want to optimize my general learning process. So I'm thinking about kind of ramping stuff up and doing stuff um, a little bit more frequently. And in order to do things more frequently, I got to start thinking about some kind of more detailed schedule. So one of the things that I've been thinking about is doing a Wednesday video, and I'm not 100% certain that that this is a thing which will be sustainable. But why is this? This is odd. There we go. No, that's there we are. Never mind. I'm working on something over here. But obviously, I want to get some kind of schedule going on, and I want to get more stuff happening. But setting up that schedule is something that I haven't done well on in the past, and because it's something I haven't done well on in the past, I'm hesitant to commit to anything. You know what I mean? So where are we on this? Let me kind of take a look at what's getting done here. Anyway, we're still on eraser. I don't want to be on eraser. We want the tail to come out here, roughly. And that'll be the modesty shorts. The tail is going to come down from there. It's going to swoop up. And basically, I'm going to have to redo the whole tail, aren't I? Yeah, I am. So, yeah, anyway, I want to do more stuff. I want to be putting things onto YouTube more frequently, in particular. And that should enable me to make even more progress in terms of improving my artwork, making things better. And that sketch overlaying all of this is kind of annoying. I'm going to turn off the tent pose layer for the moment. I will turn it back on in a bit. But right now, let's start killing this erroneous coloring here. There we are. And then I will be able to, wow, I'm going to have to airbrush that space there. And that's not going to be fun. Airbrush here. And let me come over to the color layer and grab the appropriate color. I'm going to fuzz that in there. Then we'll bring out the blender, which I believe is up here. No, it's down here. Okay, so there's blend, yeah. So then we'll blend that in a bit, and blend that in a bit. Get our brush. Fill that space in there. And then, having done that, make this a little bit wider there. And then we'll come back to our airbrush and fuzz this in, like so. Blend. Oh, come on, where's blend? There it is, okay. Blend, blend, we got blend on. And why are we selected on both the vector line? Okay, that was a minor mistake I did. Oh, okay, yeah. That's a weird thing that happened there. I didn't know I could do that, but now that line. I'm really not good at this blending thing. But yeah, I need to get the white in here. The white needs to come all the way up to this area. And then that's where we're airbrushing. So, yeah, to kind of get back to the crap I was talking about a moment ago. The spaced repetition I keep going to the wrong layer. Now we go to our blender and blend down somewhat. Let's have a look at how that comes out, and it's kind of a mess. Yeah, I'm not 100% satisfied with that, but let's drag this a little farther down. Drag the blue in here a bit more. And then just kind of clean up the edge there. So. I'm making this worse the more that I mess with it. Back to the brush. Yeah, look at this. There's all of this. All this area that I've lightened up inappropriately, And now let's just kind of fuzz that edge. And maybe just leave it at the airbrush fuzzed edge and don't blend. How's that look? Well, I think that looks better. Not 100% happy with it, but I'm never 100% happy with anything. Okay. Let's go to the regular brush. And we'll clear this space out here. We'll go a little bit bigger so we can take out more and more of that. We will leave a bit of the tail coloration there. And we need to take this white out there. Take that little bit of white out there, and now let's okay, so the formation of the tail. Let's first of all grab that color and make a little swatch down here so that we've got it. And now let's clean up that little bit there. Go to our vector eraser, and on the vector line area, we're going to clear that up and that. Get that little bit. Start clearing this. Oh, that's crap on the screen. Never mind. On that. Okay. I'm going to pull that down here. And we'll get that, that, that. I'm going to just pulling out these last few vectors. And there we go. Oh, come on. That looks like, yep. It looks like it's on the regular layer. What layer is that shit on? Ah, it's the shading layer, isn't it? Yep. That's the shading layer. Okay. So, more size. Color layer. Pull that and that. I have inappropriately removed some color in an area I didn't want to remove color. color down here. Yep. Bunches of space there that needs to be pulled out. Now we'll pull out a bit and have a look. And we've got the little bit of the modesty shorts peeking out there. And we have the tail back here. It was on the color layer, right? Yep, okay. Let's fix that color there. All of these little areas that need their color just kind of mildly repaired. Right there and right there. And we may as well come in. Hey, hello.
Hey,
Katrina just showed up.
I did. I'm here.
Well, you're appreciated as always. Let's see. So I am in the process of fixing some stuff that's been driving me crazy. Like this pocket that I want to get rid of and replace with the appropriate perspective on the pocket. So the pocket's much farther off to the side, so that needs to come out of where it is. Let me just scrub these vector lines away. Put it back where it goes. What the hell? Oh, that's working on the vector line layer. That's why. On the color layer. I still make that mistake way too often. We'll pull that off. And we will repair that line momentarily. All right, so on the vector line layer, go back to brush, come back to the correct side there, and that in. And where this pocket needs to be is kind of bulging out to the side there. About like that. Now we go back to our vector line eraser, we pull that out, we pull this space out here in the middle. Oh wow, it's really, really small vector eraser. That's why it's not grabbing what I want it to grab. Okay, so there's that. Grab this, go back to my left color. Back to the brush. Fill that back in. That's fixed. And now we want the white for the little thingy along the side, and that's where that needs to be. There, that's much better. I am much happier with that. Now, back to the tail. We're going to need black, vector line. Now, okay. Let's pull that too. And what I want to do is I want to come out about like so. I'll come out about like this. Swing upward. Let's get this curve right. And this is kind of, the tail is going to be coming out through the whole thing here. So it's going to be coming out over here and under the hoodie. But we're not going to see too much of the hoodie going up and around it because that's actually curving around back that direction. So that's going to curve around there. And this is going to curve up and around. And we're going to kind of swoop it over this direction. I was thinking about this. I was thinking let's get that taken care of. And then we'll here, and what I want is I want the tail to kind of swoop out over here. So there's her tail over there. It's kind of swooping out and around. And that's actually that's going to work out really well, actually. That's going to look pretty good. Now I grab that color and come in and make sure I'm on the right layer again, which I consistently forget to do because I'm an idiot. But let's get this taken care of. I was saying something about spaced repetition and I completely lost my train of thought. Something about how I want to increase the speed of my progress, but there's a danger if you push too hard. And it's one of the things that we call in athletics overtraining, which is where you spend too much time practicing and your brain can't prioritize what works. It doesn't have time to figure out what's a good thing to do and what's a bad thing to do because you never give it a chance to rest. You just keep cramming more and more new stuff on top of it, and it's a big, massive pile of shit. And your brain doesn't know what to do with it. Because your brain doesn't know what to do with it, it just kind of all ends up in a big pile and you can't figure out what you're doing. And it can slow down your improvement to a standstill. So I don't want to do that. Which is why I've been thinking about starting to do just like a recorded video. Not a live stream, but a recorded video every Wednesday. I was thinking that the right way to go about doing that would be to make it a a kind of directed study sort of thing where I work on a particular subject on Wednesday. And I don't know what subject that would be, but just like something I want to work on in general, not on a piece, but just as a general sort of principle. Now I just even out that space there, even out the various areas, and now I've got to figure out how do I do this, how do I do this sort of lightened bottom? Kind of like that. How's that come out? Then that I can go in with a blender and just kind of with a large blender sort of blend down and into it. Just smooth that out, and then back to the brush and clear out this space here. Clear that area out. And just kind of clear that space there. Okay. And then we've just got the tail over here. So we'll grab the right color and we'll come in there and fill that color in. All right. Let's kick that over there. We'll kick that over there. And I think that's about it, except some shading in here. Shade that in, and then we'll hit the blender and blend that in. That's a little bit extreme, so let's blend that a little less there. Now we'll pull back and see what we got, and that's looking pretty good. Now we'll switch over to transparent, jack this up a bit, and clear off our color swatch that we used. Okay, and now we'll come and turn the tent pose back on, and all of the reference that goes with it, and so on and so forth. And on this, I want to concentrate. I think we're done with the sketch layer and the composition layer at this point. I think we can now just like concentrate on, I think we can concentrate at this point on just the line art. What in the world? There's all kinds of weirdness going on here. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, so what was I doing? I feel like I'm missing something here. I'm confused. I spend way too much of my life confused. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna just come in here and let's go into our line art layer, and I don't want. I want a vector thingy. So I want to pull the hand and this part of the arm, because I want this arm to kind of come up and over. So let me pull that as well. And we'll go to our brush and we'll kind of, what the hell was that? Oh yeah, we're still running on a weird color. So we want to come across like so. Not that big. Stuff that needs to be taken out. Brush. Take it down to our appropriate size, and we'll pull it across like that. And I actually want this to come all the way across there, and I want her hand kind of poke out right at the edge there. That should be kind of rounded over. And that'll come over there, and then this will come up here. And there'll be kind of, because of the way that this would fold, we're going to have kind of a wrinkle there. So that line isn't going to be there, and that line's not going to be there. We're going to need to clean up over here a little bit. And these lines here are kind of messy. So let's clean that up and clean that up and clean that up. There's that. Oops. So much cleanup as screw up. And then here, what we want is to swoop this one up like so. And then here is her hand coming out. So it'll be kind of a, what kind of, there we are. And then that'll cover up this, so that line has to go and that line has to go. And sort of these lines here, they're not necessary. Okay, and if I then switch back to my brush and, okay, we're gonna clean this up a little here. I want is kind of a, I want her hand to come out of this and just kind of wrap around her side right here. That'd be kind of that shape there, and there would be a you'd barely see the edge of the first finger. And you get a substantial amount of the second, and then the last two. That's about how that would end up looking. And we'll clean that up. We will clean that up a little bit later. Hand seems a little small. It needs to be bigger. So, back to the eraser. Let's clear that up. And we want brush. Edge of the hand coming out. Here's the first finger wrapping around. Second finger wraps very close to that. And then the third finger and fourth right here. Fourth finger, we're looking at the side of the hand there. And better, but still not great. I need to what? What does this need to do for that to read? Well, among other things, the edge of the dress come from under the finger. And it needs to be kind of pulled in. So there we are. And now we'll pull that. See what we got. This point. Then we need kind of the other side there of that. And here we have, this is where the reference comes in. And this is where we have the swoop in the back of the dress. And we'll go back to our brush. We got the swoop in the back of the dress there. Now come around. This needs to be cleaned up. There we go. Clean that up. Brush. There we go. I'll clear that little bit up. And there is roughly where we want that. And that means we can take that out, and that can come out. That can go. That can go. And from here, we're gonna pull this, and I want to kind of have the droop in the tail a little more noticeable. We're going to go back to our brush. I'm going to swoop around here. This is also going to swoop around, but instead of having the visible curl around, we want this to droop a little. We want this to droop a little here and come out over here. I think I'm making the tail too long, but I'm going to keep that as a stylistic choice. Because it looks good. I like it. And then we pull out these little bits in front of the notches. And then here, we want to have the, I've made the tip of that tail way too made that way too narrow. Let's run that up like so. No. There we are. Better, but no. Okay. And there we have something. Yeah, the bottom part doesn't look great. It's because of this. So yeah, that's better. Pull that there. Clean up that little space. And at this point, let's come out from under again. Okay. There's that. That. There we are. Now, that looks to me like an improvement. We have done something here, and it definitely looks better to my eyes. There's more of a swoop to the way she's standing. This leg is not quite right. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so at this point, I would really like to start getting my flat colors in. So let's go ahead and do that. An awful lot of this is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to come down here to color, and we'll start out with brush. I use a larger brush there, and we'll just kind of jump in there and fill in all of the space that's supposed to be blue. Down here, it's going to have to be white, so leave that be for now. We can be sloppy here. I'm going to clean up later. Let's get the blue in here. And once we got the blue in here, then we'll start clearing up with other stuff, which is be a lot of skin tones and white. We're going to start off that blue. And then we're going to need okay, we need to get the hood and the fins. I'm just going to kind of slop this in because all of this is going to need revisiting. All right. So, having done that, we want to get the gray over here. Get that gray of her little poles there. And then we'll get some white. Come in here for the collar. We also need that for the hair. Trim up there. We'll need some down here at the bottom of the dress. And we're going to need teeth here. Red there. We're going to need more white. Now we need, okay, we need this kind of dirty yellow here. Oh, we'll start with this. Cover the shirt underneath of that. Then we'll move on to the little yellow ties here. And let's back into our white in this area. A little larger. And now we go with our skin tone. What I want to do here is just kind of get most of this roughed in so I can see what the final product is more or less going to look like. Not going to worry about the shading or the details too much right now, and just want to kind of get a feel how this is going to look. And let's see here. Shark gel blue there. And this is mostly what I want to get done today, is just this kind of initial flat shade where we've got color. Now we once again go for skin tone. I haven't done the greatest job on the shoes yet. I'll have to fix those. A lot of fixing needs to get done on that. There's sock color, two colors white, black soles, we got these blue tongues there, and we got the dark gray stripes across, plop, plop, and yeah, we're getting somewhere. Little gray eyes, and we'll do a little blue sort of blue. We'll go a little more aqua right into this arena. I'll be there. There. It'll be a bit here. And of course we need the whites of the eyes. So let's go back to India ink. Brush. And there's some progress for today. Let's get these hands. Oh, the hell is my button? There it is. Bleep. Grab. There, that's a hand. And that. Like that. Bit. And there's some bits I missed in here. And let's clear that space up and just kind of get some of these edges. Okay. All right, so Okay, there we go. That's something. I'm not tremendously happy with it, but that's a great deal of progress in what I mean. You look at what I did in 2 weeks compared to what I did in 4 months. That's a significantly faster bunch of work there. So we'll go ahead and whack save on this. And I don't know what the point of even talking about spaced repetition was. I never came to any conclusions or said anything really useful. But yeah, I'm thinking about starting to do videos on Wednesday, and that's the thing that I'm thinking about. And I don't know. I guess like maybe I'll do that. I want to get the. Let's jump in there. And then we'll come over here to our blender and I don't really like how this blender is working. I think let's just stick to the airbrush. A little wider. That was a little too wide. Okay, let's pull that back a bit. Bring it back to about there. And then we'll kind of go across the seam right here. There we are. That's reasonable. Then we go over to the blender. Which again, we make kind of big, and we just go whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. That's pretty decent. And let's go brush, parent, wipe this space out, clean it up a bit. Really be doing that with multiple layers so I can make more of a mess, but great. And not bad. A lot of stuff to fix, but that's okay. I'm not terribly unhappy with this. I do need to pull the knees up somewhat. The knees are way too far down. So yeah, that needs to be fixed. The just the general structure of the legs needs to be fixed. But I will worry about that later. For the moment, that's some significant progress. So yeah, do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit. Okay, bye.